Yo, 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 what is going on? It is I, your boy Nerdtaku, and I am here with One Piece chapter 1187. We're really getting into it because we are just a short 13 chapters away from 1200, which is kind of nuts. So, very excited to see what's going on with this. I was on vacation. I went to Baltimore, and then I went to New York. I went to Rochester, then Buffalo. So I got back yesterday night. Uh, got delayed because there was like a tornado that was coming through Pennsylvania, and so I had to stop, shelter in place with my family, and then proceed on. So it's been a pretty crazy 24 hours. But I needed this chapter before I went back to work. So, without further ado, I will be reading it. It is in this corner over here with my logo over it, just so I don't get copyrighted. This is the official translation. And let's just jump into it. I'm super excited for this. I'll be reading it one page at a time and then going to the double spreads when need be. So, this is One Piece, chapter 1187, The Root of the Problem. And the reader request is Reiju scolding naughty swans and protecting the ugly duckling by Nebobo D420 Land. Crazy. This is actually really funny because Reiju is basically protecting Sanji. Sanji is the ugly duckling that she's protecting. And then Judge. Judge is the big one. And then we have Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji on the ground over here. Just being his brothers who were always picking on him. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, let's jump in. Oh man. We start off here straight out the gate with where we left off last chapter. Luffy just going crazy. Even Loki's like, yo. And just sent him flying. And like that Conqueror's hockey coming off it is crazy. Man. So dope. I love this. This is amazing. All right. We see Emu, and he's just like stone-faced. And he's using omens, and we see two smiley flames. And then we just hear kabam. And then Loki's just like, Huff, that was a pretty good shot, I'll admit. But it only happened because of all the damage I put on him first. And Luffy's like, hey, you're really hurt. Step back and rest a bit. And he's like, rest? Who do you think you're talking to? And then all of a sudden, one of the omens like appears on Luffy. And he's like, whoa. And then one appears on Loki. And it's like, wheeze, wheeze. He says, little punk, huh? Here we go, double spread. And Luffy's like, yeah, ow, 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 huh? It's hot. I mean, it stings. What is this black fire? And Emu comes out and he's like, huff, huff. Whoa, he looks way scary up close. And then it's like, we're supposed to go to his chest where the sword was stuck. Yeah? And Loki's like, damn it, these flames keep spreading. And then, what is... This is interesting. We see Emu and he's like, blade of hatred stigma. And Luffy like notices it and looks like he dodges. But it hits Loki and it pierces him right through the chest. Holy shit. Whoa. Damn. That's fucking nuts. Like, Luffy just, like, noticed it, like, last minute and just dodged. That's so crazy. And then we hear, what's going on with this thing? It won't even budge. And Jinbei's like, wheeze, wheeze. Nothing works on it. And Usopp is like, is that not ice? And Frankie's like, what if it's actually diamond or something? And then Nami's like, diamond? And then it says, but if it's anything but ice, then this woman inside has definitely suffocated. And it's like, oops. And then Brooke like touches it, and someone's like, Nami must have hit Usopp. And then Brooke says, but if I touch it, it feels cold, or at least I imagine it would. And Nami's like, you can't tell? And Frankie's like, wait, he's got a point. If I touch it, yeah, no, I can't tell either. And then Nami's like, enough of the non-humans. Yes, it's cold. Look out behind you. And Loki just hits the ice. And it's like, hey! And they're like, Loki? What? Look out. His hammer's coming down. And it just like smacks off the ice. And they're like, whoa. And Loki's like, huh? Did he just go down? He got stabbed through the chest. And it's like, bloop, bloop, cough, cough. And all of a sudden, Ragnar's like, Kiri, Kiriri. And they're like, oh, look, everyone. And it's like, whoa, the ice has suddenly begun to melt. Princess Shuri. That's a crazy happenstance. Like, that's some crazy luck. And then Luffy's like, sees the flame still on him, and he's like, whoa. And he's like about to do it again, and Luffy notices, and he like grabs him and then throws the coat off, and it looks like it goes and it obliterates the coat, and he just like jumps out of the way, and Emu's just looking at him, and you hear dum da da da, and you can see Emu is not happy. Oh, and then we get a double spread again. And we see Western Village Sea Cloud Port. Right there's the school library. Branch route, Western Village Port. And then it says Team Zolo. And it says, what are you doing here? You're one of the 3 demons. And he's like, Straw Hat Crew. And then Summers is like, you were in the village earlier. What do you want? You're gonna get hurt. And he goes, you're the ones who ruined a feast between good old friends. And he's like, so? Forget about it. It's just 10 or 20 kids, that's all. My companion will be retrieving the brats in no time. And we'll be out of your hair, no fuss. And he's like, huh, fancy. Fancy that. My companion just went toward the village, so my guess is that yours ain't coming back. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I love when Zoro hypes up Sanji. Like, I love it. I do. It's one of my favorite things ever. I love that they talk so much shit to each other. It's one of my favorite things. But this type of stuff where he's just like, "Yo, my guy's next level, dog." Uh, and he's like, "My guess is your homeboy ain't coming back." This is a dope scene right here with Sommers on the ship looking up at Zoro. Sommers says, "Yeah, mind if I ask why?" And Zoro's like, "Because he'll be dead." And he's like, "Gah, do you have any idea how on top of our game we are?" And he uses his thorn sword towards Zoro and he blocks it. And he's like, "Huh?" Yo, I love this. This is just so dope. I'm so excited. And then it says, over the western village, the rain was downpouring as though the sky itself had cracked in half. And here's the school, branch, port. It says, okay, let's cover the facts. Problem one, a monster bigger than the giant is taking the children away. He's like lighting his cigarette. It says, response, unfortunately, I won't be saving the kids. Problem two, their wailing mothers are an unbearable sight. Response, unfortunately, the monster is a woman. I can't kick her. Added note, the giant warriors refuse to give up on taking back their children. And it says, Ripley. And she says, damn it, don't take him away from me. Colin. And he's like, Mommy, I'm sorry I got caught again. And then Sanji says, problem three, I don't want to see a woman's tears, but I won't take part in that fight because... And he smacks the spear of Killingham. And he says, you're the root of the problem. The giants might lose sight of you. And he's like, And he's like, but you can't escape from me. And Killingham's like, ha, you're tougher than you look. And Sanji says, I'm putting a stop to all this. And he says, you fool, there's an entire world of difference between toughness and immortality. And that is why you cannot beat me. Even if getting rid of me means that my powers will vanish, I suppose. He says, so go on and try it. Can you eliminate the god of rain? And it says, onward, my blustery deity. Take those brats away. And he says, oh, very scary. And Sanji says, well, I know what you people are weak against. And Killingham says, haha, what an amusing thing to say. So are you claiming you can use the color of the Supreme King? Go on and kill me if you can. Oh, shit. Is this it? Is this what is going to happen? Come on, Sanji. Come on, show him. You got that dog in you. As Sanji gets hit, it says, how do we expect to support your captain, an emperor of the sea? And he says, sorry. And then Sanji says, hey, Gramps, what about me? Can I use Supreme King Hockey? And he said, you should have the potential for it. Really? However, in your case, for some reason, you possess a streak of masochistic instability. You must be a king too if you truly want to make Luffy. It says a king. The king of the pirates. Masochistic instability. You must be a king too if you truly want to make Luffy the king of the pirates. And Sanji says, a king. Yeah, that means he got it. Dude, this is what I've been saying. And this is what I feel like everyone is so fucking hung up about. People are like, well, they need to have kingly ambition, or they need to be inheritedly, like, they need to have the lineage that backs up that they are a king. They need to get it from their parents or whatever. And I'm like, where in the manga does it say that they need to have the lineage to do it? One. Where? I don't think anywhere. Now, granted, Rayleigh says like the ability to use Supreme King Haki is something that is incredibly rare, right? Like, it's incredibly rare to do. But that's fine. It needs to be like one in every like million or 2 million or 5 million, whatever Rayleigh said, right? And we saw that Katakuri got it. Big Mom has it. We've seen there's like a familial link, but it doesn't say that you need that in order to have it. I truly believe that anybody can get it. I think it's easier to unlock if your family has unlocked it, like if there's a lineage factor that goes into it, but it's not necessary. You can unlock it, which would make sense why Sanji is lagging behind so much. It kind of makes sense that, hey, Sanji, I mean, who does he have in his family? He's got the fucking Vinsmoke Bros, Reiju, and Judge. Now, technically, Judge is a king, but he's not of that caliber, right? We know that. We've seen him. In the face of danger, he did not portray himself as a kingly guy. You know, a conqueror in that sense, if you want to say that conquerors have traits like that. But it doesn't matter, all right? It doesn't, because we've seen people who don't have familial links have Conqueror's Haki. Right now, we know Rox has it. We don't know if Blackbeard does. He might, but Rox had it. We see Harold. We see Loki. We see Hardin doesn't have it. We see, Rayleigh. We don't know what his parents are like. We see Roger had it, but Ace had it as well, but never really utilized it. We see, Garp has it. We assume Dragon has it based on what Ivankov said in Marineford, and then we see that Luffy has it. There are familial links in that way, but we saw that Don Chinjiao has it. That's a weird one. We see that even Doflamingo has it. His dad wasn't kingly at all. He was. He had the ability to unlock it. Like, there truly, to me, is no actual stating that conquerors need to be genetically traced way back in the day that they had it. Ryuma had it, and he's a relative of Zoro, so that's why Zoro has it. We don't know that Zoro's dad had it, So it's like, we can't just chalk it up to, someone in your family has to have it. So the fact that Gabon says this, and this is the official translation, it says, you should have the potential for it. Should have the potential for it. However, in your case, for some reason, you possess a streak of masochistic instability, which is interesting that he words it that way. And he says, you must be a king too, if you truly want to make Luffy the king of the pirates, he has the potential. That's the thing. Like, I think all people have potential. I wish he would have said something like that. Like, and again, we see Gabon has, conquers hockey. There's a way to make it make sense. Yo, Cyber Rider, thank you for subscribing. That's what's up. Appreciate you. Like, there truly, to me, is no one-to-one comparison to the fact that anyone should be able to have the potential to get Conquerors hockey if they truly set themselves above the rest by showcasing their willpower in that way. You know, like there has to be a starting point, right, to where the family gets it. Up until that point, there was no one. We don't know what Garp's dad was. For all we know, he didn't have Conquerors hockey, and Garp was the first one to unlock it. There's always that idea of the possessing, like the possibility. And in a show that is all about willpower, you would assume that anyone can showcase that will if given the necessary push, you know? So to me, I never agreed with the fact that people think that Conquerors hockey is this, like, well, it's a genetic thing, someone has to have it, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe it in the slightest. So I think that anybody can be a conqueror if they have that actual trigger moment that pushes them to be a conqueror, to really showcase their will. I mean, look at Doflamingo. Him and his brother and his dad were all strung up, and in that moment, he releases his Conquerors hockey. Ace released his Conquerors hockey in Grey Terminal when everyone was in trouble and everything was on fire. Like, these are insane moments of stress in which people actually exude their Conquerors hockey. Zoro, he's on the rooftop there, but I mean, you could argue it was even before that. It was against maybe I don't know, Kaku fighting for Robin. When he used Ashura, that might have been his first showcasing of Conquerors hockey. Like, we don't know exactly when it was, but if not, it was the rooftop. That's an insane moment of stress. You're facing down two emperors. I think when people rise to the occasion is when Conquerors hockey showcased, and I think that anyone can do that if their willpower is strong enough. All right, I'll get off of my soapbox now and finish this chapter. Then we see Luffy is squaring up with Emu. And we see him say, "There thou art, Joy Boy." And it says, Emperor of the Sea, Monkey D. Luffy versus King of the World, Saint Nerona Emu. And then Luffy's like, "Quit calling me all these different names. I'm Luffy, the man who will be king of the pirates." Just beautiful. Beautiful. I love this. Oh man, I gotta see what other people are saying about this chapter now, because this is juicy, dude. This whole thing with fucking Sanji is just, oh man, I'm so hype. I'm so hype. Listen, I've been a Sanji has Conquerors hockey guy for a long time. I think anybody can get it, like I said, and that has been my whole thing since Jump. Like, come on now. So this to me makes all the sense in the world. I'm all about this, and in fact, I'm so excited for this next chapter. I'm not even joking. This next chapter, if we see Sanji get Conquerors hockey and he unleashes it next chapter, and he gets like black flames or something like that, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna pour one out. Pour one out for the Zoro stands. Because the thing is, and this is what I always fucking tell people, Stop playing this game of Zoro is the best and he is the best person ever and Sanji's nowhere near. They are relatively close. People think that they are leagues different. People think that Zoro having Conqueror's Haki just makes him this cut above the rest type guy, and it's just not true in my opinion. Like it truly, like it seems like Sanji is, if they're on the stairs, right? And Sanji's only one step below Zoro at minimum or at maximum. I mean, like if Zoro's a 99, Sanji's a 98. They're the wings of the Pirate King for a reason. And if one of them was so much more strong than the other one, then the Pirate King would just be turning in circles. That's how wings work. So, to me, never made sense. And I hope that I got to find out what the TOPT guys are talking about right now, because if I'm sure that Seb is doing a dance in the streets. His Knicks won, and then on top of that, Sanji is getting Conqueror's Haki. This is alluding to that very thing. So Seb's probably partying hard. So I'm excited for him. This is an amazing moment. Love it. I do. I love this development. This chapter is amazing. All right, I'm gonna just do a quick rundown and then get out of here. I just want to. One, I really like the fact that this cover story now is alluding to this interesting moment, with it featuring the Vin Smokes. The fact that Luffy is just not dog walking, got a really good hit in on Emu, and then him basically having these like things that he attaches to people that is like an auto tracker for his next move, and then Luffy absolutely getting stuffed is crazy. But he also was fighting Emu for quite some time, and he finally just got put out of commission, which sucks because I wanted to see a Luffy Loki versus Emu, and I feel like we also haven't seen Loki really like use his hybrid form, so that's a little upsetting. It's like a little bit of like a oh, and the fact that the Omen Flames kind of are like sentient, and then on top of that they went straight to the original wound that was made by the blade, is kind of crazy. This whole moment here with the Straw Hats is pretty cool, and then just like the moment of just like Loki hitting this and then Ragnar falling on it, just being so plot heavy, but at the same time it was a good thing. I'm very interested to see this interaction between Brook and Shuri once this happens. Luffy realizing and kind of like seeing that it's like Amaterasu in the way that it like won't come off his jacket, and him just deciding to ditch it is like super cool, because he like notices it, and I wonder if he used Future Sight to realize that it wouldn't come off, and so he throws it up to do that. This interaction between Summers and Zoro, like I said, I always love the hype that Zoro and Sanji give each other, and him just being like, dude, my guy was headed that way, where your guy is. That means your guy's not coming back. Super awesome. I really like this moment where like Sanji is talking about like all the things that are happening, and like the unfortunate, it's like response. Unfortunately, I won't be saving the kids. There's another problem though, like it's an unbearable sight to see the giants kind of getting mollywopped. And this is response. Unfortunately, the monster is a woman, and I can't kick her. Like all of that stuff. And then he's like, the real problem is you are the root of the problem, and so I'm gonna kick your ass. um Super cool. I really like that. It reminds me a lot of Mr. Prince moments that Sanji has, and those are always my favorite. Him smoking a cigarette outside the car of the Puffing Tom when they're going to Annie's lobby, and like this kind of gives me that same feel. Him talking shit to Crocodile after saving the Straw Hats, amazing. Like those are like the Mr. Prince moments that I love. So I really like this. And then this last panel, listen, I went on and on about it. Conqueror's hockey thing, to me, I've been this. I've been on this. And then, of course, the face offs at the end. Like, we finally see our matchups. Which, again, like I said, it's a little upsetting that Loki, kind of what happened to Loki happened. And so, but this overall always seemed like this was going to be what happened. Um, it makes me super excited to see what's going to happen next chapter. And I don't believe there's a break week, so I'll be right back here. This weekend, I don't have anything going on, and I will be reacting to this chapter. It's going to be a doozy. So, I really love this. It's a great chapter. I think this chapter to me, this is like a 9.5. Like this is a good ass chapter. And the setup is just impeccable. So I'm super excited. We only got 13 more chapters till 1200, and that's crazy. So I'm loving it. I'm living for these chapters right now. So well, thank you guys so much for sticking through with me. I do have to wrap because I have some stuff I need to go do before I go back to work. So you guys have a wonderful night. Please make sure to like the stream if you haven't already. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you, Cyber Rider, for subscribing. Always appreciate and love the support. And let me know your thoughts on this chapter, especially the Conquerors hockey thing. I feel like that's a huge debated thing in the space. So I love to hear other people's thoughts on that. So please let me know your thoughts. I say it every time. One Piece is better as a conversation. I love having that conversation with you guys. So please sound off in the comments, and I will see you guys in, what is today, Monday? The fucking like 4 or 5 days we'll be getting this chapter, and I'll probably do the fan translation just because I'm gonna be so excited to get to it. So thank you guys as always, and I will see you next time. Jana.